Okay, so that last video was kind of fun, and so I dug around me, and I found some more scraps of paper and napkins that have stuff written on them. So let's go through a couple more. Okay, we got some Post-its and a piece of paper towel that, look, I even folded to make rectangular. See? Professional. Okay. Under stress conditions, the brain cannot dampen threat signaling sufficiently to make it specific. Pleasure signaling brings memory up to sufficient, efficient, specific function. That pleasure is refined to fewer and fewer tasks, while that sensitivity becomes more generalized as anxiety. Okay, so I think this is talking about addiction and how we end up addicted to things. So, under stress conditions, the brain cannot dampen threat signaling sufficiently to make it specific. Pleasure signaling, so the release of um, dopamine, endogenous cannabinoids, endogenous opioids, and I mean, if you have dopamine, you have norepinephrine and all of that stuff. So I guess what I'm saying here is, it seems like threat signaling under stress conditions, when you can't produce enough of a um, neurotransmitter response to reinforce those signals, just becomes a generalized sense of malaise. Whereas your reward signals can punch through and allow for long-term potentiation and with some specificity that keeps you tied to the particular action or um, the act that elicited that response. So that's probably a little confusing, but it was on a napkin, so that kind of makes sense. So let's see what we got here. Oh, okay, this is just a good random thought here. All the great ones have had something taken from them. It is their journey to recover whatever it is that makes them great in the eyes of others and acceptable in their own. Okay. Well, this is about type. Fi, what should be. Te, what will be. Fe modifies what should be for others. And Ti sees what will be for others. And I have objects in parentheses around that. So I don't know at what point in creating my typing schema that was written, but that one's kind of just a list. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, okay. So when people have preferences uh, for associating or communicating with people in, of a particular race or beauty standard or ethnicity, religion, all of that, it results from the desire for increased coherence between the contextual frames of the individuals. This desire is born of the increased rate and fidelity of communication between those individuals. So people self-select for other people that have similar background contexts, so that intertextualization between those individuals has fewer mismatches and information flows more easily between the individuals. So people like to speak to people who have a similar cognitive framework as themselves, so that the information exchange can be exchanged efficiently and without too much labor. I think that's all that was trying to say. Let's see here. Oh, these are all kind of crazy here. The placing of material gain at the top of the value hierarchy is what prevents its attainment. Becoming the sole focus prevents individuals and cultures from engaging in the development of those other systems upon which production is predicated. Okay. It looks like this might have been a poem or something in the works. So it says, when we choose between revenge and forgiveness, it's a test. And if all the world is guilty, then there's no reason to confess. It's so easy to point fingers when it's someone else's mess, but we all cast shadows when the sun never sets. Yep, so I think that was going to be a song. Okay. That was a little more crazy and disorganized than the start. I'm glad I started with the other one. Alright, see ya.